Twitter's suspension of journalists sets dangerous precedent, UN warns.
Here's a summary of the article.
The United Nations is very disturbed by Twitter's abrupt and arbitrary suspension of a group of U.S. journalists, a spokesperson said on Friday, warning that the move sets a dangerous precedent, as the EU said the social media platform could face penalties over the decision. The move sets a dangerous precedent at a time when journalists all over the world are facing censorship, physical threats and even worse, he told reporters. The warning from the EU came from Vera Jourova, the European Commission Vice President for Values and Transparency, who tweeted that, news about arbitrary suspension of journalists on Twitter is worrying, and said the Economic Bloc's Digital Services Act required platforms to respect media freedom. Musk's suspension of the group of tech journalists on Thursday was for breaking a new user guideline about revealing people's locations, which had been created the day before. The journalists had recently published articles about Musk's suspension of a Twitter account that had shared publicly available data about the movements of his private jet. The Center for Countering Digital Hate said Musk does not understand the difference between the public interest and his own interests, and was seeking to expel journalists critical of him rather than tackling dangerous hate speech, while the open rights group urged journalists to set up accounts on the rival platform Mastodon. In a Twitter Spaces event held after suspensions were announced, Musk was questioned about the bans by some of the journalists who had their accounts suspended.
This post received a score of 15,000, with an upvote ratio of 90%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Where I live, the only people using Twitter are politicians and media people, publishers, journalists. If that is the case everywhere, I think Musk might be alienating its largest demographic and completely devaluing an already overvalued platform. To me it sounds like Twitter is either going to disappear or be replaced by something similar. I have yet to hear positive news for Twitter users. I didn't know it was possible to make Twitter more shit than it was before the takeover, but Elon sure proved me wrong.
Twitter has probably cut their on-scene reporting budget in half, I'd guess. Where else would you get a close-up video of the Asian doctor who was dragged off a United flight, or a random passerby's footage of a warehouse explosion the moment it happened as quickly? And have a chance to get that content for your platform before everyone else, so the non-Twitter people will click on your article instead of a competitor's? And get the permission to share it from the person who shot it without waiting for some DM reply? Instagram? With that lag and that algorithm? Facebook? Fuck no. The refreshing feed and easy tagging was what set Twitter apart as a platform, and who benefits more from that than journalists? Sure, sports fans benefit, but with Budweiser and other major sports-adjacent advertisers pulling their campaigns, this is one of the most self-sabotaging moves that Elon could make. I don't believe he thinks that far ahead. This is pure emotion.
That's why Post News is trying to become the new Twitter for journalists. You can do pretty much all the same stuff, and people without accounts can click directly to your post to see it. They do need some kind of trending news algorithm, though.
The new Twitter should be more general than that. I didn't go to Twitter only for news.
I agree. While I like Mastodon myself, Post News seems to be the purest Twitter clone I've seen so far. Having no mobile app so far might be a deal breaker for some.
No mobile app is a selling point, since I know they didn't artificially hobble the website to push people to a shitty app that does what a website could do but with more bugs.
For me, the only time I use social media is while I'm on my phone. Can't access it at work, and I have better uses for my computer at home. So not having as a mobile app is deal breaker.
I'm an app developer and I hate most apps, because I'm also a web developer and the app is usually totally unnecessary, at least for the user. If your app just displays text and images and maybe video in a specific layout, well, we've had a really good way to do that for a long time now.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.